Immortality was such an amazing gift. It seemed so unreal sometimes. Yet the pain and agony as my skin was torn off was real, just like the sound of the serial killer's voice in my ears. Why won't you freaking die? Please let us in, Mommy. Really want to go home, my children begged. Chained to the wall, tears flow down my face and blood flows down my legs as they attempted to dig their way back into my uterus. You can't take her, I scream as I hold my daughter as close to me as I can, out of their reach. If they get to her, they'll return her to that sadistic, wretched swine that gave birth to her. I kept laughing as the little boy stuck his tongue out at me and made goofy faces. He looked so funny, choking to death. Let me in. Open this door right now. The monster continues to shriek, pretending to be my mother, but I know better. The knife against my wrist is my only guardian. I'm pregnant and I can't wait for my child to be born. I've always wanted a little brother. My two best friends and I went to explore an abandoned house, which was rumored to alter the memories of everyone who visited. But in the end, after making sure that we still remembered everything correctly, we both left the house with disappointment. I always fall asleep holding my wife's hand. I'll bury it with the rest of her body when I'm ready. I expected the cold shock that came when I jumped into the deep pond. What I didn't expect was the ice when I tried to resurface. Every night, I can hear the young mother upstairs sing her baby a lullaby until they're both sound asleep. It's been weeks and I still can't work up the nerve to check what's in the attic. The dead don't speak, but I can assure you, we can listen. My kids began to cry out in horror as I threw all our dolls into the fire. I know it would scare them too much if I told them I saw one blink. I didn't even have to kill him myself. Once the drugs kicked in, I told him the treasure was in his stomach. I laid paralyzed, patiently waiting for the curse to be lifted by a true love's kiss. When the prince came, he tore away my dress with lust and I realized I was never meant to be saved. He stumbled in late, and I'm sure I could smell alcohol on his breath as he slurred an apology. But I need his surgery, and he's the only doctor I can afford. Please don't do this. I don't want to die, I screamed in total darkness. The last thing I heard was my mom sobbing as I was taken off life support. Pay attention, my sister screamed as I looked up from my phone confused. I frantically threw my hands back on the wheel, but the truck was coming too fast. I wondered what made my pillow so soft. When it tore open one day, I stood in horror as millions of spiders quickly climbed all over the bed. Something on the beach sliced my foot open, but I didn't start to panic until I felt something slither inside the cut. I was finally able to afford the surgery to fix my eyesight and was excited to see my dog for the first time. After seeing the year-old bones of my dog, I decided to act blind, wondering what the hell has been helping me the past year. While my date drove me home, he told me how he had suicidal thoughts but was afraid of dying alone. As he steered directly into a tree, I realized what he meant by looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with. As the only immortal in existence, you could say that I'm a bit of a celebrity. My plaque at the museum reads, human brain, eyes and nervous system. I shine my flashlight over the cabinet of porcelain dolls. Their pupils contracted. Tears roll down my cheeks as my husband goes deeper. The creature dragged my kin down a hole so small, the more we dig, the more blood we see. When I was a child, and my grandmother died, she lay undiscovered for 10 days. She had finally decomposed enough for me to push her body off me and reach a phone for help. Just a few more miles, sweetie, I told my daughter as she wiggled around in the backseat. Just a few more miles and that restraining order won't be a problem for us anymore. My hands tremble as I put finishing touches on the time machine. well aware of how painstakingly precise this next part has to be. My hands tremble as I put finishing touches on the time machine, well aware of how painstakingly precise this next part has to be. I never thought my wife and I would have a baby, but there was nothing else for breakfast. After days of practice, I finally learned how to whistle. I just wish it would have been loud enough for the rescue dogs to find me. I lay in my bed, sad and cold. Surely my human will be home soon. My bowl has been empty for a long time.